Hello, hello. All right. So to get started here, this is going to be a different game that I'm going to be showing here. And it's because the last game that I was making was the Forge game, but that game, it had a lot of like complicated systems that took too much time. And I guess I'm not a programmer. So I'm using blueprints only. So I'm not coding anything. And some of the things, like if I add certain things or modify things and it like trickles down the line and breaks stuff, because a lot of those systems can be complicated, it just takes more time to fix. And I'm spending more time making one system work than working on all the systems. So here's another game that I made, that I'm currently making. And it's a potion crafting game, and obviously, we're in like a little demo world, little test world. But this one, I have way more done in less time because I was able to like everything's more simplified, and every actor only has a couple things that it needs to do, and the character is the main actor. The player character is the main actor that's running all the processes and everything. I think the other thing that's running a lot of processes is the potion, and then these systems are a little bit, but not as much. Most of them are just updating textures and materials and stuff, but the character is definitely running more of the things going on. What happens is the character, if you see in the top left when I pick up an object, you see how it says item, plant, ingredient, and then it knows what blueprint it is. So this happens with all the objects. So this one is different ingredient, but same item. It's a plant, right? So both of these are different, but both of these are different ingredients, but they're the same item type, which is plant. So the character, when they pick it up, they know what they're holding, and then when I interact with the pot here, it's gonna shoot a laser. So this little the red laser is to gather information. So it's gonna shoot a little ray trace over. It's gonna identify the pot. It's gonna tell the pot, "Hey, I am holding a plant. Can you accept the plant?" And then the pot's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm empty. I can accept the plant item. Give it to me." When I click on it, and it should go to the pot here, and then it'll grow that type of item. Now, if I try to stack another item, it's gonna be like, you see how I'm clicking? It's gonna be like, hey, yes, I can accept that item, but I already have an item, so I can't accept this one until you get rid of the one I currently have. Right now, I don't have a tool to get rid of those items. I'm gonna add one later. Right now, I'm just trying to get most of the mechanics done. But this one will be like, oh, I'm empty, so give it to me, and it'll grow the red one. So we have green and we have red, so two different ones. Next is the drying stations. So these are the empty drying stations. So you're gonna pluck like a green one and put it in the drying station, and we'll pluck another green one, so two green ones, and we'll put that one in there too. So you see how they turn brown, and now I have two dried herbs here. And what I can do is I can grab one of these waters. So you usually get just an empty bottle, and then you go to the water bucket and fill it up, and then I can grab some dry herbs and put it in the water. Now you see how the cap turned red? This is just default. It has nothing to do with the ingredients. It's just I have the material red, so I made it red, but I can change the texture later. But the brown cap that it was earlier means that it has nothing in it, no ingredients in it. The red cap means that it has leaves in it. So these are also red. So all of these have leaves in it, and I can put it in this table, which is the quote unquote magic enhancement table or whatever. And then it'll put it into a predefined slot. So even though I clicked here, it puts it into a slot, and it crafts a potion. So again, the top right tells me ingredient, plant, Heart Bloom. So this is a Heart Bloom potion, which is going to be a healing potion, right? This one's also a Heart Bloom, and this one is also a Heart Bloom. Okay, so they're all. So I'm gonna make a red one next. So again, I'll grab a red, and I'll grab this red one. Boom, grab 2 of those, and then I'm gonna put it into this grinding here. So we're gonna grab this, put it in here, grab this one, put it in here, and then so uh left click is the red laser and right click is the blue laser. Blue is to activate an interaction with an item. So that's going to be here. So I'm going to hold the blue laser and it's going to start grinding it up, but I need a bowl. So I'll put a bowl and then hold again and then boom, there, I put it into the bowl. So now I have the powder. So, and again, on top right, it shows me the ingredient that I'm using and it shows the item. It's a bowl. And then I can put this into a water and it turns green. Green means that it has a powdered solution in there. So you see how the water is more cloudy. It doesn't have that leaf texture. I could put it in here and it should turn into the correct potion here. Boom. So now again, top right or top left, soul ray in the bottle, and it's a red infused potion and it's a green cap. So it's powdered. It's the herb powder, I guess. So this it takes one dry herb to make one red potion, one base potion, right? And it takes 2 dry herbs into powdered form into a green a I guess mid-tier potion. Um so a green cap, but it's a red potion. It's a fire potion. But um so it takes 2 ingredients of these to make this. But this is going to have a multiplier of probably like 2, let's say 2.5, right? Or even more, maybe slightly more. Um, so it's going to be worth if this one's 10 gold, this one's going to be 25 gold. So if you were to sell 2 of these, it'll still be less than selling one of these, right? Because you're going to have 10 gold, and then this one's going to be 25. So selling 125 potion is going to be better than selling 2 regular potions, profit wise, right? But it's not all about the game's not all about profit. I'll get into that later. But there's still one other tier. For this one, you need a completely empty bottle. Can't have liquid in it or anything. But you're gonna grab 2 of the same potion. So I have so on the top left, Heart Bloom and Heart Bloom. So both of these are the same potion, and we put them in here. So we're emptying the bottle in here, and then we put an empty bottle here, and then we activate it with the click, and then it takes a sec, and then boom. So now it's a blue bottle. So this looks the same as this one, but this one is a distilled potion. I mean, so this is like a distillery, and it like concentrates the potion even further. So if you think about it, this takes 1 herb to complete. This one takes 2 herbs to complete, and this one takes 4 herbs because this one this green cap potion takes 2 um plant potions. Let me just grab another plant potion here. This one, just put it in here, just so I can show it visually. I probably should have made this one green instead of red, but I already made it, so I'm gonna. You know what? I can swap it out. Might as well. It'll make the explanation a little bit easier. So again, just going through, putting it here, put a bowl in here. These are already pre-filled, but I'm just showing the process of filling it. And once that's done, boop, and then put this into a bottle, and then we'll infuse that. Okay, and then that turns green in a sec. Boom. Okay, so that was basically the process to make one of these potions. So if you think about it, this green potion here, takes 2 of these, and this blue cap potion takes 2 of the green caps. So it would be 4 of the regulars. So this would have like another multiplier based off of this one, right? So let's say this is 10, this is 25, and then this one is, instead of being 50, it could be like 60, right? 60 gold or 60 silver or whatever it is. So the higher tier the potion, the more profitable it is versus making a bunch of low tier potions. So that's kind of to balance it out and make it to where you would have an incentive to be crafting higher tier potions, right? And then we also have a trash, and this one you can just throw stuff away. So if you messed up somewhere, you can just throw it away. But there is you can mess up this recipe. So if I were to grab, like, let's say a green and a red, which is not a recipe you can do, but let's say I grab a green and a red, boom, green, and then this one was red, and I try to mix these, like powder them up. You can't do that, so you get this. You get a messed up bowl. Like you can't do anything with this, so you have to throw it away. And I'm gonna change the texture to where it looks more like a mess, I guess. And you have to throw away the bowl too. Same thing with this. If you just throw away the bowl, it throws everything away. Same thing with the bottle. If you mess up a bottle potion, which you can if you do two different ingredients in here, oh, you can throw it away. That is the system. This is going to be a storage rack where you can store different things, but obviously, as you can see, it's not done yet. But I am working on it. But you'll be able to store leaves, dry leaves. You'll be able to store bowls, potions, and I'm also doing a crate, but I didn't put it in the world yet. But there's a little crate that holds 6 potions, so you can make 6 potions here, and then bring your crate, and then grab all 6 potions, and then take it to a shelf or to a, if you're gonna sell it, take it over to wherever you're selling, and that'll be it. Now, why wouldn't you want to make all of them blue capped potions? Why wouldn't you want to do distilled potions for every single potion since it's profitable, right? Well, let's say you just started the game, your reputation rank is going to be low. You're probably going to be like E tier reputation, like super low, right? So you're only going to get obviously this is going to be a fantasy game because we're magic potions, but you're only going to get low tier adventurers like copper, bronze adventurers, bronze rank adventurers that don't have that much money. You know, one might come in and they want a healing potion, and you're like, "Hey, look, I got this one worth this healing potion worth 60 copper or 60 silver or whatever. 60 silver for this potion." And they're like, I can't do that. I only have 30 silver. So now you have to be like, okay, I can sell you either 125 or three of the because these are 10 and this one's 25 and this one's 60. So it'll be like, I could sell you 3 of these or one of these, and I can't sell you this big one, right? You are not gonna make the deal. Let me kind of like, you're not haggling, you're not making the deal. You're putting these on shelves, right? So let's say I'm an NPC, right? The NPC is gonna spawn in, they're gonna walk up, and they're gonna be like, they're already gonna have a budget in mind, and they're already gonna have a potion that they're preferred, that their preference to, right? So let's say I spawn in, and the NPCs I'm going to work on once I'm finished polishing this system out a little bit. There's going to be more to potion crafting. I just want to work on polishing the herb um, process first, and then I'm going to be doing NPCs to get some of the selling gameplay going. And I'm going to work on other minerals and monster material potion type stuff too. But let's say for now the basic NPC spawns in, boom. They walk into the store and they already have a potion they would prefer, so something that they're looking for specifically, and a budget that they have. So let's say they're looking for a mana potion. Right now mana potions don't exist, right? they only healing and fire potions, right? So let's say they walk in and let me move these out of the way. They walk in and they want a mana potion, right? And they're gonna scan all the shelves and you're be like, okay, there's no mana potions in the shelves. But my budget is 30 30 silver. Yeah, let's go with 30 silver. My budget's 30 silver and I am looking for a I guess defensive potion like healing, mana recovery, like fire protection. So when it comes here, this is a fire potion, like a fire attack potion, right? So when they go in, they're like, okay, I'm preferred looking for something to defend myself with or keep myself alive. So it's immediately gonna ignore the fire potion because it's gonna be like, no, I don't want the fire potion. But they do have some defense items. But my budget is only 30, and they have a high grade or like a mid grade potion for 25, or I can get two weak potions for 20 each, like 20, like 10 and 10. So I get both for 20, right? So now that would be kind of a random choice at that point based on the budget and the potions that are available and how many potions they're wanting to buy. Maybe they only want one potion, but they have a budget of 30. They're going to probably get this one, right? Maybe they have a budget of 15 and these two are because this is 25 and this is 60. They can't get that and they can't get both of these. So they'll just take one and they'll go and they'll check out, right? Same thing, spawns in, and you have this high tier potion of healing, but he's looking for a fire attack potion to imbue his sword with or something, right? Or like a to throw at an enemy. I don't know. Um, and they spawn in with a budget of 70. So they can afford this one, but they're going to prioritize the attack one, right? So now they buy the attack one. They're gonna buy this one. So now this one's a green cap. So this one's what do we say 25? So it was what do we say the budget was 70? So they have 70 and then they're buying this for 25. That leaves them a budget of 45. So now, if they choose, depending on how many potions they want to buy, because they could buy up to a certain amount. So they could buy they maybe they only want to buy one potion, and then even though they have a big budget, they only want to buy one potion. So they're just gonna get this one and leave. Maybe they want to buy two or three potions. You know, who knows? But they'll look and they'll be like, okay, I want another 25 one, right? And I'm only buying two potions. So even though I have 20 silver left to get these two, because I'm only buying two potions, these are the only two that I'm gonna get, right? So it's kind of a balancing act because I don't want someone to spawn in with 100 silver coins and then buy out an entire shelf of potions and your whole shelf is like 10 low grade potions and they buy everything. Now, if you have 10 only 10 low grade potions and this person has 100 silver, but they're only looking to buy four potions, and they're only buying four and they're going to pay you 40 and then leave. So there's an incentive to have some sort of mix because if you don't have any potions at like because okay, so your reputation is going to be your store ranked, right? So the higher your reputation goes, the better your rank is going to be. So let's say they spawn in and they're like, "Hey, I want a low tier healing potion." Oh, they have the low tier healing potion, plus 10 reputation because you have the item that they're looking for. And then let's say they were able to buy the type, so the defense. They're like, okay, they don't have a mana potion, but they have a healing potion. So you're not gonna get that 10 reputation for having the healing potion, but you're gonna get 5 for having a defense potion up that they can buy, right? Something like that. And then, oh, they don't have either potion. They don't have a, like, let's say I don't have an attack potion at all. Oh, they don't have an attack potion at all, but I still want to buy at least one potion. So I'm just going to buy a low healing potion. And you might get like 2 reputation or something small, because you still had a potion available for them at their budget, but you weren't really supplying the one that they wanted or the type they were looking for, but it's there. Um, so it's kind of like an incentive, like to be able to build up reputation and level up. You want to have a good variety of potions. Now, the early game, you might have maybe 1 or 2 high tier potions up, and it's gonna probably be rare that someone buys it. And then you might have more red cat potions really early, and then once you get the grinding station going, you'll have the green cat potions, and then once you get the distillery station going, you'll have the blue cat potions. And once you get higher into the tiers, like once you get to like gold, plat, diamond adventurer tiers, like super like high tier adventurers, they'll have a bigger budget, and they might, again, just because they have a bigger budget doesn't mean that they're looking for 20 potions. They have a bigger budget, but they're only willing to buy 5 potions or something, right? But you might still have a bunch of blue ones. Now, let's say you have 3 blue ones and they still have money left over and a potion slot left over, but they're not able to afford a fourth or another blue, right? So they're looking for a green or a red, but you have no green or red. Well, they're not going to buy another blue, right? Because they can't afford it. So there's a small incentive to keep a variety of items up and going. Um, if someone can't buy a potion outright, you lose reputation. So let's say you only have blue potions and all your low tier adventurers go in and can't buy anything, then you lose, 5, 10 reputation. And the more it happens, it'll start stacking up. So you'll start losing more reputation because you're not selling to the lower tier party anymore. And, so you get punished for that. Um, but that's basically how the NPC system's going to work. Spawn in, they're already going to know exactly what they want. They'll scan your shelves, and then they'll come and buy whatever they're willing to buy. This is what I currently have, right? Now, what are my plans after this? So after I get this crafting section done and the NPC at least buying the items, um, I'm going to be doing the minerals. So I have, actually, let me see if I can get my papers explaining. I have it written down here. Okay, so the distillation station, and then minerals. Here we go. So the minerals are gonna have their own set. So this all gonna be for plants. Now imagine this kind of duplicated over here. So they're gonna have their own set, and it's gonna be kind of similar, but instead of grinding it like with this, you're gonna have like a crushing hammer that's gonna crush your minerals down. So let's say you have a mana crystal or mana ore, something like that, and then you crush it down using the hammer. The kind of like a steam hammer, I guess, like a forward like a heavy duty hammer, right? To crush it and turn it into powder or something. And then you can put that kind of how you put the dry herb into a potion. You can put the powder into a potion, or I guess this powder, you can put powder into a potion. You can put the mineral powder into a potion, and it'll make that tier potion, right? Then you can get the mineral powder potion and put it into kind of like a distillation station, but it's gonna be more like an espresso machine where you put it in and then pressurized water will go through and brew up the minerals and absorb the minerals and create a higher tier potion. So you're gonna have the green cap potion, or the blue cap, whatever. However, because the powder one should be green, and then the distilled one should be blue. And then on top of that, you'll have. Do I have an empty potion? You'll have another tier above that. So you have the brown bottles, which are just empty. Then you have the red base, green mid, blue high, and then you'll have another one because you can grab the two. So again, one powder makes one green potion. Two powders makes one blue potion, or blue cap potions. Two blue cap potions, you can put it into a crystallization station, and it'll create a very crystallized, pure version of whatever you're trying to infuse, or whatever mineral you're trying to get to infuse. And then you take the crystal out and you put it through the process again. So you crush it and then you infuse it, and then it'll give you a higher tier. So let's say this one's a purple cap potion. I don't know, like higher rarity, right? So purple for the higher rarity. Um, and then on top of that, let's say you have a gold cap potion, right, or a yellow cap potion. When monster materials come in, the monster materials are only going to be used for enhancements. So let's say you have a I'm just trying to organize my thoughts. Let's say you have a fire. Where is it? Fire protection potion, right? And you get it to a purple cap tier, right? And you have monster materials from you have fire dragon scales, right? So I don't know what the process is because I haven't gotten that far, but the thought process is you're gonna somehow infuse the fire dragon scales and add them into your fire protection potion and turn it into a gold. So let's say pretend this green cap is purple right now. It's not green, it's purple. You put the fire dragon scales into it and it turns into a gold tier fire protection potion basically. And then again it'll have multipliers, so it'll increase in price as you go up. And then I want this to be more than just a crafting game. I know I've played a couple crafting games, and you're very kind of just put into the shop, and that all you're kind of doing is crafting. And the customer comes in and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this." They buy it and then they leave, and then they buy. So what I want to try, I make no promises, but what I want to try and do is have groups, like parties, come in. So parties of adventurers, like let's say a party of 3 will spawn in together and they'll come into the shop. And I want them to have interactions between each other, a couple lines so you can hear stuff going on in the background. Even if they spawn in solo, they'll still like verbally have voice lines to say stuff. Um, some will come. So let's say this is the counter. Let's say that one spawns in and they come up to the counter. And let's say you don't have the potion that they're looking for, but they're willing to put in an order. And they're like, "Hey, a I need 5 fire protection potions that are blue cap in 2 days." So now you have to think, do I have the materials for it? How is that going to affect my shop? Do I have to stop? Do I have to close down, like to do, like not sell and just work on this order? Would it be like you have to think about it and you're like, "Yeah, sure, I can do it. I have enough." And then when I say 3 days pass and you have the order, they come in and they pay you for the order, basically the bulk order that they got, instead of just leaving and you taking a reputation hit. They might, again, this is optional, It's not going to happen with all the people who don't find your potion, so it'll only happen with a few. But if you do take the order and you don't deliver, you're going to lose even more of your reputation hit because you accepted the order and you scheduled it and everything, and then you didn't deliver. Now you're going to take a larger chunk of your of a hit, basically. Um, Going off of that, what I just said, you will also, I plan to have guild quest and quest from the kingdom. So the guild might like send you a request and be like, "Hey, the guild needs you to provide 20 mana potions in 1 week," or something like that, right? So throughout your crafting and everything, every now and then you throw in a couple mana potion crafting recipes so that you could still sell, but you're still filling in that order. Now, if you don't complete the guild order, it's even bigger reputation hit than just a regular order. Um, and then the kingdom order might also be like, hey, we need, 20 fire attack potions um in a week or 2 weeks. And if you don't complete that order from the kingdom, then it's even bigger hit than not completing one from the guild. So you risk losing progress if you don't take these orders. Now, the guild orders and the kingdom orders are not optional. They're kind of mandatory because I want to have it to where like sometimes you have to take these orders. You can't just always do your own thing and reject every single order and only do your own little crap. Like sometimes a big order from the kingdom or guild will come in and you have to do it. Like it's gonna auto be placed in your thing, and if you don't complete it, then you take the hit and then keep playing the way you want to play, or complete it so you don't take the hit and you gain more reputation from it. So you gain more from completing these orders. So if you actually want to advance faster, you would complete the not the regular orders, you would complete the guild and the kingdom orders. Those are the ones that give you more reputation. The regular orders are probably going to be the same as if a customer comes in and buys the same potions. Just so you don't like spam select all the orders, even if you can't have them, or even if you can't complete them. So I don't want to put that stress on people. If you can't complete the orders, then just take the 10 reputation hit from rejecting or from not having that potion versus taking it and not being able to complete and then taking a 30 hit because you couldn't complete it, right? I am dropping a lot of information. Now, okay, so this is the final thing I'll talk about. You're also going to have a family. It's going to be you. You are the mom, the wife in this situation, and you're running the shop. The potion shop. Your husband and or the dad of the daughter you guys have is going to be running the forage shop, but there's not going to be any forage shop. Like that's the forage game that I was working on before, but I'm not putting it in here yet. So that's not going to exist, but that's part of the lore, and it'll get referenced in the game. And your daughter, is going to be an adventurer. She's going to actively be seeking quests and doing stuff. So she will come into your shop and she will uh, request stuff from you too. So she might come in and she'll be like, "Hey, I'm going on this adventure and I need, you know, X amount of healing potions, mana potions, and a fire potion." And you can say yes, but these are going to be for free because it's your daughter, right? So I'm going to put them just you can give it to her or not give it to her. So you can be stingy and be like, "Nah, I'm not going to give you stuff for free. I'm going to sell this." That's perfectly fine if that's the way you want to play, but she will not progress, right? So she's going to be complaining because she's being hindered and stuff like that. And if you don't support her enough, she'll start visiting you less often, and it's going to be harder to rebuild that relationship, basically. Versus you being able to provide some, even if you can't provide all, hopefully you can provide some potions and stuff, and then she'll be grateful, thank you, and then she'll leave, and she'll be ranking up, right? And then the basically the higher rank she gets, I want to somehow implement that to where it also affects you. Like, oh, she's a higher rank, so you get a passive reputation bonus every week. You get a bonus of 100 reputation because your daughter's out there showing off the potions and that you gave her, and showing how effective they are, and that she's using this to rank up throughout the guild, right? So that's going to be the thought process behind that, an incentive to give her and help her out. But that's it for now. Okay, so craft your potions. Grab your things, plant it, put it, dry it, grind it, potion it, distill it, sell it, and then take orders. Don't take orders. You have to do the guild orders. You have to do the kingdom orders. You don't have to help your daughter when she asks you to, but if you do help her, you'll get a reputation gain, like a passive gain, basically. That is what I have planned out. And obviously, this is what I currently have. So a lot of that may or may not get put into the game. I might not be able to do voice dialogues, so I'll have to do speech bubbles or something, right? I can't get people to do some voices and voice act, or figure something out, then you get speech bubbles. I don't know. Maybe I can't do the full system with your daughter coming in and all that. So maybe she'll just be pre-programmed to come in every now and then and not affect you in any way if you accept or ignore her, right? So these are all ideas that I want to do, but it doesn't mean that it's going to get added if it's too much. I have to stay within a reasonable scope so that I can complete this and actually get it out. But for now, this is all I got, and I will probably release another video. I'm going to try to release another video in a week or two. Probably I'll try a week from when this video is posted, which should be probably in a couple days from recording. I'll post it. Yeah. Okay, so whenever I post this, maybe a week from that, I will hopefully have another video, and in that I'll hopefully have NPCs coming in, and maybe it'll make this look a little bit more pretty, have actual floor and walls and stuff. But the NPCs is going to be the big next part. After the NPCs, it's going to be the minerals, then the monster materials, and then the request system, then the guild request, kingdom request, then your daughter coming in and everything, and then voices at the end and sound and stuff. Because right now, obviously there's no audio for any of this. So sound is going to be important. So I will work on. I don't. I'll probably ask my sister, my little sister, because she's done some sound engineering stuff. I'll probably ask her to help me out with that. But sound will probably be at the end since I'm not a sound engineer, and I'll try to figure that out later. But that's kind of the order of what I'm gonna do, and hopefully things work out the way I think they will. But until then, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.